Hey everyone, welcome to part 21 of this Baldur's Gate 3 trophy and achievement walkthrough. The first thing we're going to do is to find a solution to all of these shadows, so let's go over the bridge and talk to the Harpers.
You mean to reach Moonrise, and I've orders to help you. The path to the towers is drenched in blackness so deep even a torch cannot quell it. Yet the cultists have found a way to move freely. Whatever this method, you must claim it. A cultist convoy crosses the land as we speak. I've readied an ambush. Say the word, and we fly.
Let's take on that convoy. You lead, I follow.
Splendid. I'll mark your map should you lose the way. Harper's with me. Stray no more than an arm's length from your course.
So now we already have the Blessing of Selûne, so we can go through this area no problem. We're going to just follow the Harpers as they lead the way toward the right as soon as we cross this bridge. And on the way, you will notice that there are a bunch of dead tieflings. But don't worry, these guys actually do not count for the Save All the Tieflings trophy, the Leave No One Behind trophy. So don't worry about all these dead ones. They are scripted to die, and you don't need to worry about them. We're going to continue along the path, just follow the Harpers as they go along, and eventually you'll get to kind of a broken down building area, and that's where we're going to set up for a fight. There's actually two ways to go about this part. You can just talk to the enemy group and convince them to leave, and that way you don't have to fight them, but you don't get experience doing it that way. You could also do the combat version, which will get you the experience, and that's the one that I'm going to show you. So what you want to do is to head up this ladder. There's going to be a couple Harpers up here. Just talk to one of them, and that will spawn the enemy and start the sequence. So here we go.
Church every day, my queen. Your followers are legion.
Go. We'll wait for your signal.
Your faithful stand ready, Majesty. Soon we march. Soon the world will bow to you.
Here, we're boss. Something moved up there. Want me to drag it out?
This is where you choose whether you want to go out and talk to them, trying to convince them that you're on the side of the Absolute. They'll walk off, leaving the Moon Lantern for you, or you can choose to fight them. So whatever you want to do, go ahead and make that choice now.
Heretics in the dark! Kill them! Destroy the blasphemers!
We actually start the battle from a pretty advantageous position, especially if you have ranged characters. We're up high, so we get that high ground bonus, and we're able to fight pretty effectively from up here. However, this Drider, the enemy Karnus, typically will cast Sanctuary on himself, and that means that he can't take attack during that turn. So you won't be able to really do a whole lot of damage to him, but if you have a character like a monk, you should be able to move up and get into range of one of the other characters around here. So like I said, we can't attack him, but we will head down here and just fight this guy off. So we're able to do our normal attacks. We can use Flurry of Blows Topple to get a couple more attacks in, and then we can follow that up with a bonus attack. And just to finish him off, I can take one of my other characters with a ranged attack and just shoot down from above. There's honestly not a lot to this fight, just a bunch of little weak enemies down there that we don't have to worry too much about. They're not going to do a whole lot of damage to us, and we'll just kind of continue on from there. So I'm going to skip most of the fight, about 5.5 minutes worth, and now we're down to the end. We just have Karnus, the Drider, remaining, so I'm going to just attack him a couple times, finish him off with Lae'zel, and then that will end the fight. By helping the Harpers ambush this group, we do complete one of the soldier background goals, and that's called Centennial Rivalries. So we do get an inspiration point and a little experience. Make sure that you loot Karnus' body. You'll find a couple things there: the Cruel Sting, a new weapon, as well as the Moon Lantern, and that's what we really want. And as soon as you pick it up, you'll get a cutscene.
The lantern gives off a chilly glow, protecting all in its vicinity from the surrounding shadows.
Incredible magic. I can feel the light lifting the shadows, even those within me. Be safe and be brave. We expect no less.
You notice a tiny pixie trapped within. These fey creatures are infamous for their trickery. Sometimes playful, sometimes malicious.
Oh please, oh golly me, oh my. You must release me or I'll die. This lantern only lights the way when I am hurting night and day.
Who are you?
My name is Dolly Thrice. Now won't you free me from this vice?
I need protection from this curse. If I release you, will you help me travel through the shadows?
It would be my pleasure, truly. Once I'm freed, I'll help you duly.
Release the pixie.
Finally! Been trapped in that coffin with no one but a mad rider and my own farts for company.
Did me a good turn there, didn't you? What do I owe you?
I need to get through the shadow curse. Can you help?
Sure I can, but will I?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Here, give this bell a shake. Speak the magic words and you'll get what you've earned. Protection from the shadow curse. What more could a dingus want? You're welcome.
Okay, and because I'm a guild artisan, I now get the background gold trust and the little pixie dust completed. So that's an inspiration point and some more experience. And thanks to this filigreed Feywild Bell, we get a new thing called the Pixie's Blessing. It is a perk for us that allows us to fight off even the deepest, darkest, harshest shadows in this area. So no more will we take damage by roaming around here. We don't need a light source, we don't need torches, anything like that. We can freely explore through this area, and that's really nice. If you were to travel back to one of the Act 1 zones, you'll lose that blessing. However, if you interact with that bell again, you'll get the blessing back. So it is not technically a permanent buff, but it is close enough. Well, now we're going to continue on from here. Make sure that you take a short rest if you are missing any health, and we're going to continue on down this pathway. Just keep running down along these kind of vine bridge things, and eventually you'll get toward the bottom part. As you head down, you'll see some stairs on the left-hand side. If you go up there, it's kind of a dead end, but there's also a fairly tough mini-boss type enemy. It's a tough enemy group. You get a lot of experience for it, not related to any trophies, but if you want to just gain a little bit more to help you level up, that's a good way to do it. And what you can do is now head on down through this wall of shadows that will take you into a new area. I did get enough experience at this point so that I could level up from level 6 to level 7. I'll show that in just a moment. However, we are going to run forward into the Reithwin Tollhouse. Now, I would highly recommend not going too far forward unless you have both Astarion and Shadowheart in your team. The reason for that is that there's going to be an enemy that we need to talk to basically convince them to kill themselves, so that we don't have to fight them, and if we can do that successfully, we'll get a trophy for that. And we want Astarion's ability to talk and persuade, as well as Shadowheart's ability to boost different dialogue choices through those bonuses. So right now I'm just going to drop off Karlach at camp, and I'm going to pick up Astarion, and then we're going to continue on from this point. Well, first things first, we are going to level up our characters, so let's go ahead and do that right now. First up, my monk hits level 7. That will give me, of course, some health and an additional key point. We also get evasion, which allows us to do a dexterity saving throw against a magical spell. If we succeed, we take no damage, and if we fail, we only take half damage. And we get stillness of mind, so if we're charmed or frightened, we can automatically remove that negative status effect. Now next up, let's talk about Shadowheart. She is now a level 7 cleric. We get some health, a level 4 spell slot has been unlocked, and of course we get a bunch of new spells. So let's go ahead and move on. We don't really have to make any changes to our spells at this point, keeping them the same as what they were, and we can go on from there. So third up, we're going to look at Lae'zel, our level 7 fighter. We get health as well as the remarkable athlete proficiency, and that adds half of our proficiency bonus to any strength, dexterity, and constitution checks that we're not proficient in. And we get remarkable athlete jump, and our jump distance is increased by 3 meters. And she already has an amazing jumping ability that gives us a lot more mobility on the battlefield as we go through. And finally, we have Astarion, the level 7 rogue. He also gets evasion just like the monk, and a little bit of health. So not too much on the rogue side of things, but it's all good all the same. So at this point, to get the trophy, I'm going to put Astarion as the lead character. Definitely want to save it before this, just in case something goes wrong. You can always just reload it and then come right back here. So now what we're going to do is to head up the nearby staircase, and there should be a very golden enemy prowling around in this area. So just go over toward the side here and you can just climb right up the stairs, and you should see the enemy walking around up here. It's pretty obvious. There's also these kind of glowing skulls or masks. Don't worry about those so much. Just get close to this enemy and a cutscene will ensue.
What do you bring?
Who are you?
I require gold.
If I give you gold, what do I get in return?
You can pass, but first you must pay.
Toss the creature a gold piece.
Another.
I don't hand out so much gold for so little in return.
You may pass the river, but first you must pay.
Rogue Persuasion. The toll collector scam is old and uninspired. Give it a rest. Figure out a new trick. Here we have the first skill check we need to complete. It does have a difficulty class of 18, but we do have a lot of bonuses on our side. It shouldn't be too hard to get this one to succeed.
Trick. No. Gold. I require gold.
Persuasion. Look, I've run this scam myself. I know it's a trick, a basic one at that. Another skill check looking for an 18. We should be able to do this one just fine with the advantages that we have.
A trick. I trick. No. No! I paid back.
And by doing that correctly, we get the Penny Pincher trophy for defeating the toll collector without her using any money against us, and we also completed a background goal for the fighter class. So now let's go over and loot the body. There's a couple very interesting things that we can see from her corpse. She has a good amount of gold on her, as well as the Twist of Fortune mace. That's kind of a cool weapon. We also get the unsigned trade visa, and when I opened this one up and read it, I actually got the trophy called Bookworm for reading 100 different things in the game. So right around here, if you've been following along, you should get it, pretty soon to where we are. Maybe you got it already, and maybe it's just coming up soon. So just keep going with that one, it shouldn't be a problem. If you want to, you can go through and you can unlock the nearby door up in the top part of the toll house. That allows you to go into the room back here. And we can go around and collect some things around this area. So there is going to be a chest over back here. It's an opulent chest. We just have to unlock it and then collect the things inside of it. So we do have a skill check looking only for a 10. We have naturally plus 13 to our bonuses, so unless we roll a 1, we're going to get through this no problem. This chest contains the Glove of Battle Mage's Power, so be sure to grab that one. And now let's go ahead and look at our new weapons. The Twist of Fortune has a couple interesting things. When you roll a 2 or less with this weapon's damage die, re-roll it and take the new result. And also, when you miss with an attack, you still do 1 damage. And the Gloves of Battle Mage's Power, when a weapon attack roll inflicts a condition, the wielder gains Arcane Acuity, and you get a Strength saving throw of +1. Let's keep going. There are some locked double doors on the other side. You can choose to unlock it and go through, otherwise just run around. You'll see on the ground there are a whole bunch of gold piles, so feel free to pick those up if you want to collect some extra gold. You can come into this room and open up the traveler's chest. It's got a little bit more gold, just tons of gold all over this place, and more in the traveler's chest on the opposite side of the room. Now let's keep heading out. We're going to go around toward the right hand side, and there's going to be another opulent chest over on the right hand side. Go ahead and open that one up too. There's some more gold. There's also the scroll of stone skin and a couple of these gates, just little gems that we can sell. Now what we want to do is to keep going around. There is going to be these like visages. This one's a visage of heartlessness. Those are enemies that if you fought the big golden woman, they would also come to her aid in that fight. But when we took her out, we took out all of them, and we get some good experience for doing that because it kind of just killed them all at the same time. Here's a plaque that you can read.
Seized inventory.
That seized inventory is behind those vines. To get to it, all you have to do is climb up the nearby ladder and then head over toward the side part here. There's going to be these broken boards. If you pass the perception check, then you will be able to see them very visibly, and all you have to do is take a character and to smash through the collapsed floorboards. That's going to open it up. You just have to jump down there, and I think that Astarion would probably be the best person to do it just because there is a chest that you need to lockpick. But really, anyone who has good lockpicking skills should be able to open this up no problem. So here's the heavy chest. We're going to just open it up and then see what's inside. Here's a new amulet called the Fire Heart. As soon as we pick it up, we complete another one of the background quests for the Guild Artisan by collecting the confiscated works back here in the Tollhouse. So what that does is, so whenever we take fire damage dealt by another creature, we gain 2 turns of heat. Heat is an interesting condition where it does a little bit of damage to you every turn. However, you can use something called Heat Convergence to power up a future attack with the additional fire damage. So it's pretty good if you like to use fire spells, but otherwise I'll just skip that for now. On the bookshelf here, there are a few things that you can do. Another book that you can read. There's also going to be a potion that you can get, and there's going to be a Great Axe +1. So feel free to grab all of those, and then you just have to hop out the window. And then it's just a matter of getting all of your characters to hop down into that lower area and then hop down to the ground. So we all made it down. I am going to just make sure that I heal up a little bit, just using another one of my short rests, because you do take some fall damage as you go down. And then we can continue just kind of straight on. As we go into the next area, we get into a place called the Waning Moon, and that is the place where we need to go in order to get the ledger that's needed to complete the Punish the Wicked quest that we got from He Who Was. So let's go on inside here. Make sure you have someone like Astarion who's good at sleight of hand, and we can then move on down to the bottom part here. There's going to be a very large guy in the bottom part here, and we're going to go over and talk to him. Here's the second member that we've met of the Thorm family. The first one was the toll collector, and now this bartender. What we need to do is to pretend to drink what he's serving and convince him that we're telling good stories. And if we can do that enough times, he will drink enough that he will explode, and we're not going to have to deal with him anymore. So for now, we're going to say, what is it that you're serving?
Only the best. Oblivion and beyond. Go on. Cheers. Bottoms up. Go nuts.
Hells. The curse has twisted this man beyond measure.
Pick up the tankard.
Leaning in, you can see how the creature's skin barely holds it together. The bulge of its belly is on the cusp of bursting wide open.
He looks set to burst, and will probably be left hip deep in his juices.
Go on, drink. Make it drunk. Be drunk. You and I both. To our good health.
Rogue Sleight of Hand, pretend to swing deeply, avoiding the liquid at the last moment. We do have a skill check looking for a 16. Luckily, we have some pretty good bonuses on our side already. We get a plus 13, so we really only have to roll a 3 or above. Throw in a little bit of Cat's Grace from Shadowheart, and that's even easier.
Such a small sip you take. Fear not. You will soon quaff as I do. Fable, a saga. Guide me.
I think it's pretty cool that all the things that you can tell him are really things that we've done in the game. So choose whatever one you want to, it doesn't really matter. Here I got a skill check looking for a 21. It's pretty difficult even with the advantages that I have. So I'm going to roll the dice and I come up just a little bit short. That's okay though, you don't need to use an inspiration point or anything. Just continue on and you get a second shot at it.
Wasted journey. The hells can be seen right here. Spin a more fantastic fable. Entertain, engross, amuse me. Or be amusement.
So now just choose a different thing from the list here. I'm just going to choose the first option, and now we have a skill check looking for an 18, a little bit easier for us to get through. So I rolled a 12 here, but with all the bonuses, I actually raised it up to a 22, and we can continue on.
What do you say? Sounds like you can stand me around or 7. But later, you ask, you drink, then you amaze, enthuse, astound me again.
Now we get to ask him something. Who placed the curse on this land?
Father Ketherick created, Father Ketherick sustains. Bring it in, toss it down, love it up.
Rogue Sleight of Hand, take a sip, but spit out the liquor before the creature notices. Here's a skill check looking for a 16. We should be able to get through this without any issues.
More stories. Tell me of foes fell, villains vanquished, beasts bastard.
Once again, you can choose any option that you want to. Here's a skill check looking for a 21 once again. Still pretty difficult, but let's roll it and see what we get. Luckily, I did get a high roll, so with my bonuses, I could succeed.
Did they breathe flame? Did their screams rend the sky? Oh no! Don't tell me. Let me dream. Ask, question, make your query, and drink once more.
how do the Thorms sustain the shadows?
The spirit of the land. More drink.
Rogue sleight of hand. Take a drink, but hold it in your mouth instead of swallowing. Another skill check, this time looking for an 18. We have some good advantages on our side, so let's go ahead and use those to roll.
Father's personal, mysterious secret. No, not never. Father said, ordered, commanded. Don't say it. Don't say it. Cage. Cage. Talk and perish, die, buried in Thorm tomb. Father told me. I can't perish. No, nay, neither. Too strong.
After that, we do get another inspiration point, this time for Astarion, and a ton of experience. You can see everyone got a whole lot just by making all of those different skill checks work out. And now let's go straight ahead and we can look at his remains. Inside there's a ton of alcohol, as well as a little bit of gold and a key back here. So grab all that stuff if you want to. And then on the left side, if you get close over here, you can see some loose planks if you pass the perception check. Go ahead, open that up, and that's where Madeline's ledger is. This is what we need for the Punish the Wicked quest. So now that we have that, we can go back at any point and we can turn that in and kind of finish that up. So we'll do that a little bit later on. This is just kind of a separate thing, but you can go to this metal door back here and you can unlock it. Inside there's a couple recipes for some poisons and some other materials for alchemy. So go ahead back here if you want to and explore all that. I'm not going to show it, but you just want to collect the things in here and then you can head on out. One thing of particular interest back here is the Punch Drunk Bastard. It is a great club, and when you're drunk you have an advantage on attack rolls, and you also create a blast with each attack that does a little bit of damage in an area of 3 meters around you. And that actually does come in handy a little bit later on when we're going for a trophy for defeating a bunch of enemies while drunk. So those two can pair kind of nicely and just speed that up a little bit, because you can kill a lot of weak enemies in a small space very quickly, and you can do it all while you're drunk. So we're all done here. We can now head back out. So we're just going out the way that we came, and what we want to do is to start heading a little bit toward the north. You do just want to go out to the main road area and then turn toward the left-hand side. You can run up the ramp and the stairs, but be careful because there are enemies a little bit further ahead. What I like to do is to just pause right here and then put Astarion into the hiding mode and then separate him from everyone else, because I can sneak him up and actually get quite a few stealth kills of these enemies just to weed out their numbers a little bit before the main fight starts. So going over here, we can see that this Cursed Shadow Harper, he does have a lot of health, but we're able to attack him and then just kind of slip away before he can see us. We successfully got around this hiding check, and we can follow that up with another sneak attack ranged attack to take him down. we're just going to keep moving our way up and taking out the enemies as we go along. So here we go. There's another enemy that we can see at the top of the stairs here. We do have to get within range of this enemy just so that we don't have a disadvantage against him. And when we are close enough, we can attack him and we can take him down. So here we go, we have a big advantage against him here, and we take him down. Now we can keep going, and there's going to be some more enemies a little bit further ahead. So as you sneak up here, look over toward the left-hand side. There'll probably be some enemies down below, but be careful because there's also an enemy up top, and you need to be careful of that one. So I'm just going to attack this guy up top here. We can take him out, but unfortunately that causes everyone to turn around and look, and they're going to see us, and that's when the fight starts. But we took out a few enemies before that even happened, and now we can do another attack against this guy, doing some really solid damage before slipping away and having our other party members come in and join the battle. Now they're not currently part of the battle, so you do have to switch to them to get them to move forward, and you can either choose to just run up and attack or try to sneak up closer and then also have them kind of do some stealth attacks before they actually join the fight. So I'm just going to skip the next little bit here, just a couple minutes of us cleaning up all of these enemies in this area, and we can continue on from this point. After that battle, we're going to keep heading north up into this darkness that we haven't revealed yet. You'll see a large staircase that's really broken up ahead of you. Just keep going up toward the top, and eventually you're going to see a familiar face.
Hey! I know you! You're... Twist 'em up!
Impressive. Last I saw this child, she was cowed to Korga's snake.
Sorry. It knocks the wind right out of me.
Arabella, you should be with your parents.
That's who I'm looking for. Mom and Pops, I mean. When Zevlor... When he... Well... There was an ambush. Mum yelled, "Run!" So we ran. I could hear him running behind me. Till I couldn't. Still can't find him. But I bet you can. You'll help me, I just know it.
I'll find your parents. You can count on me.
Thanks, mister. I knew you'd help me again. The vines won't last forever. I don't suppose I can stay with you. Just till you find Mum and Pops. I won't be any trouble, I swear it.
Of course, you can stay in my camp.
Oh, thanks. You're the best. So you send Mum and Pops there. I'll be waiting, hero man.
Arabella is one of the tieflings that we need to save throughout the entire game, and we had to get her to go to our camp, so it's very important that you did it just like I did. Now, as you run along, you should be able to get a perception check to find the skeleton. This isn't related to a trophy, but you can grab the True Love's Caress, as well as the Wife's Diary here. The True Love's Caress is very interesting. It's one of a pair of magical rings that allows the wearer to receive warding bond from a creature wearing the matching ring. So we do need to find the second ring in order for this to have any effect. It's not related to a trophy, but it's just kind of a rare thing that not a lot of people know where this other item is, so I'm going to show you exactly where it is in just a few moments. Well, we're going to keep going down this path, and you're going to see this oak door, and that takes us into the House of Healing. There is going to be another trophy that we're going to get just inside here. It requires us to beat Malus Thorm, who is a boss, before he can do any surgery. So unlike the other Thorn family members, we actually do have to fight this one, and we have to do it in a very particular way. But I'm going to show you an easy way to do it in just a moment. When you get into the first room here, you go around to loot everything inside that you want. There's also a book here that you can read in case you haven't gotten that Bookworm Trophy yet. You're probably getting very close at this point if you've been keeping up. And then what we're going to do is to turn around from here and then go through the double oak doors. Once you open them up, be very careful because the boss is just down below. You can see them there. We do want to save the game before continuing on, just in case something goes wrong here, and we can always reload the game. So when you're ready, head down and a cutscene will start.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the scalpel indeed is an extension of Shah. See how the patient reacts when I but stroke the right nerve. Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps where it should stroke. We can hardly hear the patient's sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. You are no sister, but that matters none. Every student is welcome.
Follow this conversation chain carefully. A student, yes. Do please enlighten me.
Absence.
Absence. No other word captures the heart of Shah so very perfectly. It is the scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace.
Only a beast of a man toys with his victim. Entertaining, if not efficient.
See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration of being? If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
But you, look how the succor of Shah eludes you. See how painfully present you remain. We do not wish to see you suffer so. Let us cure you.
Persuasion. The sisters aren't ready. They'll make me sick instead of curing me. Here's a skill check looking for a 16. We already have plus 10 to our bonuses, but I rolled a natural 20, so it was a critical success.
Their incisions are, as yet, still streaked with imprecision. That much I must concede. How to steady their hands, I wonder.
While it is possible to have all the sisters attack him and kill him, that will not get you the trophy. You need to have them practice on each other. So say, persuasion, why not have them hone their skills on each other? This is a skill check looking for a 21, fairly difficult. In fact, the first time I rolled too low of a number, so I wasn't able to get it, but I showed you how to get quite a few inspiration points throughout this one video alone, so I'm going to use one of them and roll again. This time, the result was much better. I ended up with a 22, which is just barely what I needed.
Yes, for are we not all in need of a cure? The scalpel does not discriminate. Let each and every one of you partake in its soothing journey. Absent sisters, acquaint yourselves. It is a proud moment when one sees one's teachings so lovingly taken to heart. You are to be commended for their graduation, rewarded with the promised cure. Come, I will acquaint you with the lady's dark-fingered embrace.
And now that we have the advantage in numbers with all the sisters gone, we're going to just attack him. We get an inspiration point after that, and here's how the battle's going to go. he will spend his turns reviving one of the sisters. He will then ask one of them, who's ever revived, for a surgical tool. If he's allowed to receive that tool, he will perform surgery, and if he's allowed to do that, that will cost us the trophy. We need to beat him before he has a chance to do surgery. So what we have to do is take out whatever sister he revives on that same turn. So it's not very difficult because they won't have a lot of health, we just have to knock them down. And then we have to just keep whittling him down and making sure that he is never allowed to receive one of those surgical tools. Now we have a couple things at our disposal here. Number one, we have a lot more people on our side than what he does, so we definitely have the numbers advantage. Also, if you have something that can stun him, such as our monk, he has one of his bonus actions can stun the enemy, then what that will do is kind of put him into this stun lock loop where he actually won't even be able to revive one of the sisters, much less ask for a surgical tool and receive it to do surgery. So if you do have something like this where you can keep him into this stun lock, you're able to get through this fight pretty easily, and then it's just a matter of keep attacking him as much as you can to eliminate him as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to keep Shadowheart up top here to rain down some spells on him. We can also keep a starring up top. We can get some really good attacks with him. If he's hiding enough, you can do a sneak attack range attack, which will do quite a bit of damage to him, and that will really deplete his HP quickly, and we'll be able to beat him without that surgery taking place, and that will get us the non-invasive procedure trophy. So there's not a whole lot more that I need to explain about this fight. It's really just a matter of us fighting him at this point and keep stun locking him so that he can never get a turn to do surgery. And I'm going to skip the rest of this fight, and I'll see you in just a moment. Here we are at the end. He hasn't gotten a single opportunity to attack us this whole fight. This went very smoothly. Now we're going to take him out and get the non-invasive procedure trophy, as well as complete another one of the background goals for the soldier, and we get another inspiration point for that. Alright, now let's loot his body and see what he's got on him. He's got a little bit of gold. He also has the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet, the Battered Loot, which is very important for a side quest, so grab that. He also has a key and a supply pack and some other little things that you can pick up. With that key, we can look at the man on the surgical table, the distressed patient, and we can interact with him. He doesn't have a whole lot to say here, but we do get a choice whether we want to just leave him or we can unlock his restraints. Releasing him really does nothing. He's just going to run away and disappear, and we'll never see him again. But it was a nice thing to do. Now we're going to go up this ramp and we can open up these double oak doors. On the other side, we want to hang a right and go into the room with these red curtains. If you look in between some of the beds here, you'll see a skeleton lying on a mattress. Now interact with this and you can find the True Love's Embrace as well as the Bonded by Love Husband's Diary. This tells you the tale of how the husband and wife died, and now we have both of those magical rings that we got. So the True Love's Embrace, one of the magical pair of rings that allows the wearer to cast Warding Bond once per long rest on a creature wearing the matching ring. And the matching ring is the True Love's Caress. That one can receive the Warding Bond. Now what it doesn't really tell you is that Warding Bond transfers damage from the True Love's Caress wielder to the True Love's Embrace wielder. So if you have a character that's a little bit more fragile, you can actually make it so that another character will take damage for them. So kind of an interesting pair. It doesn't have anything to do with trophies, but I just wanted to show that to you. Now let's head through this door and we can find Locke lying on the bed. So let's talk to him and we'll get a little scene.
I know that corpse. Arabella's father.
Well, we found Arabella's parents and unfortunately they're dead. So what you can do is equip the Amulet of Lost Voices or just cast Speak with the Dead, and if you do that with Locke, you can get a little bit more backstory for what happened to him.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
How did you die?
Surgeon. Sisters.
Why were you in this place?
Zevlor. Betrayed. Ran. Shelter.
Where is Zevlor now?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know.
Remind me, who are you?
Look. Husband to Chimera. Father to Arabella.
Where are you from?
Elturel.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Well, very interesting. It appears that Zevlor had something to do with betraying them, and they ran away to find shelter here, only to end up being killed by the sisters. I just threw back on the Amulet of Misty Step, and now I'm going to head back to camp, because we need to go tell Arabella what happened. And this is a conversation I'm not looking forward to having.
Neither alive nor unliving.
I don't get it.
Thou wilt.
Hey, you. I made it. Easy peasy. You find Mum and Pops?
They've passed on, Arabella. Return to the cycle. I'm sorry.
No. No. I don't believe you.
I'm so sorry, Arabella.
It isn't true. It isn't. Get away from me. Go.
With that, we completed yet another one of the background goals, getting us an inspiration point. Remember, you only need 10 of those to get the role player trophy. I've shown way more than that in this playthrough already, so you should have gotten that trophy by this point. Now let's head back down to the campfire area. We're going to choose to end the day, and then what we want to do is to take a long rest that will refill any missing health that we have, as well as to regain any of the missing spell slots that we've been using up. And now I'm going to take Astarion off our team and put Karlach on the team, and through the magic of editing I made that go really fast, and it looks like Karlach is eligible for a level up, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Karlach is now a level 7 barbarian. She gets a health increase as well as feral instinct. You have honed your instincts to the utmost degree. You gain a +3 bonus to initiative and can't be surprised. A nice little perk for us. Now we're going to go and talk to Arabella once again, and we're able to have a conversation with her that will ultimately allow her to stay alive in Act 2, and that sets us up nicely for the Leave No One Behind trophy.
I don't believe it. They can't be.
Breathe, child. Resist not the winds of change. Let them carry thee.
No.
Listen! Dost thou not hear it? Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Balance.
They're dead. I can't. Balance.
Your very soul is tangled in shadow. Arabella's magic, wild as cursed briar. Her talent is now yours too.
The girl must learn the ways of the arcane, but she shan't remain here.
Where will she go then?
The weave knows her purpose. It will guide her plainly, if she listens. Arabella holds a power beyond reckoning, that of the decaying forest and the seedling that bore it. But it is unbalanced. Her yoke is already heavy. If she walks thy path, it will surely break. Arabella will depart once thou dost leave
leave these accursed lands, she will find her way safely. Thus, it is fated.
Bowman, you're making me leave.
Fear not, girl. Abandon not the weave, and it shall not abandon thee.
You can trust Withers. If he says you'll be safe, you should believe him.
You feel the grief fade as if it were your own. There is a lightness in her now, veiling the power within, soothing it.
Is that my future? Is that why they died?
It is.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Bowman, for being nice. If there are people like you around, perhaps everything will be all right.
That completes the Find Arabella's Parents quest, and she is now safe going into Act 3. Now, we're not done saving the tieflings yet in Act 2. There is more to do. We also got a ring along with that, so let's check that out. It is the Shadowblade ring, and what it does is that allows us to cast Shadowblade, a level 2 illusion spell. So go ahead, equip that on someone if you want to. I'll just throw it on because I didn't have any other ring right now that I wanted. And now at this point, we can just go ahead, leave camp, and ultimately what we want to do is to fast travel over toward the Last Light Inn. And that's going to do it for this part. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, that really helps me out, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already so that you can stay up to date with the rest of the series. I'm really enjoying going through this game with you. I hope that you're enjoying it too and learning things as we collect trophies along the way. So thanks again for all the interaction, for all of the likes and comments. I really do appreciate hearing how your journey is going, as well as any questions that you might have. I enjoy answering them for you as well. So I'll see you very soon in the next part. Until then, have a good day.